Hey friendos, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Matt and we're back with some more Marvel Future Fight. And yes, as you can see, finally, after 11 long months, we get the immortal words. Agents, the supervillain who put the city into terror with his newly acquired alien weapon, has returned. Even though that sentence doesn't really make much sense, we will forgive it because this sneak peek, as we just saw and we're going to see again, is flipping amazing. So hell yeah. It does say in the Twitter, it says the Green Goblin returns with the symbiote powers of Carnage. But let's just get into it because this is so freaking cool. So yeah, so we open up New York City street. We've got the sirens going, we've got the talk, we've got the smoke billowing from the explosions, looking just like when Norman absolutely wrecked that building in No Way Home. See the SWAT members coming down and boom. Okay, admittedly at first I was terrified this was going to be Nightcrawler. And I was like, no! But then I remembered, yeah, it's a symbiote. Red Goblin, thank God. Phew. So yeah, there we go. That was amazing, honestly. 9 out of 10. It would have got a 10 out of 10, but the feet were a little bit janky. But still, it looked amazing. And the positive reaction from the community has been really nice to see, because let's be honest, the game has been really bad this year. So let's just add our like to that. Only 3 people unhappy. Maybe they're like me and they thought it's taken too long. But yeah, welcome back fans. Let's get into this because it has been a while. We all know that it was last year that we got the update for No Way Home Part 2. It was the anniversary. It was last April, so it's been 11 months since we got Norman Osborn's iconic No Way Home outfit, and it's been a very long time that we have all been sat waiting, well, us fans who never gave up hope, who've been sucking on that Hopium for 11 long months for him to get a tier 3. It has been painful, especially when we've had characters come and go who've had their tier 3s. I think obviously the most recent one is Polaris, but yeah. So Norman is finally getting his dues. This uniform is still pretty pog, so I'm hoping that even just by using a tier 3 and ascending him to a new level, we'll be able to use him in all content with this uniform alone without even having to get into the Red Goblin. Now, there is some theories, and I've seen a couple of people speculate that it could be a situation similar to here with the Ultimate Green Goblin, where he changes his typing. I can't see that happening, because the look of Red Goblin, he does very much look like a speed type, and I could imagine him staying a speed type. However, if he does change over and become combat, I still think this No Way Home uniform is more than capable of doing enough things. So it could, in theory, if it does change him, make him the first character to have 2 meta uniforms that are available for different types of content. Now, we do have other characters in the game who obviously have different uniforms that can change them. Like Captain could go back to being a villain, but there aren't many who are available for top level meta content. Yes, Cyclops is as a leadership because he can be a hero or a villain, but you can't actually use him as a DPS character. Theoretically, I guess you could say that maybe someone like Jean Grey is. But she's very much more of a PvP character, and you don't really get much of a benefit from changing her over from hero to villain. Her last hero costume, the Marvel Girl, it keeps her universal, it changes her over to hero, but to be able to have someone who can do different content, like again with Doc Ock, who was a speed type with Secret Empire, then went over to combat type. It'll be interesting. I can imagine him staying combat type with his new uniform. But yeah, it'll be interesting to say the least. But it's still pretty cool that we're getting these uniforms. Craven, as you can see, it makes me laugh that I'm ranked 2000. I've done literally nothing with Craven, no build at all. Okay, the Transcendence. Remember back in 2017 when Cynic Alex was telling literally everyone, oh yeah, if any character has got summons or clones, put a CTP of Transcendence on them. That's the best thing for them. Yeah, well, clearly I haven't changed his build since 2017, because that's what he's got. And I've only been using him for Shadowland ever since. So it would be nice for him to get something before his... well, we don't know if his movie is going to come out. But considering how dirty they did old Morbin Boy, we can't be guaranteed that he'll get a uniform for that anyway. But yeah, it's going to be nice to actually be able to take Green Goblin and take him into this content. Because sadly, even though his uniform is really great, without that tier 3... I'm not even too bothered about the red. I mean, Red Goblin is cool, yeah, and it would have been nice as like a Halloween outfit. But right now, it's just the tier 3 that gets me excited, because ever since we had the new Avengers update last year, just after the anniversary, tier 4 has been the new sort of like height to get to, which has made tier 3 and Transcendence the baseline. And yet since then, we had to sit for 11 months with no communication from the devs about why certain characters haven't received a tier 3 or a Transcendence. And whilst they've done their damnedest to, improve everyone and get all characters up to that baseline, there's still been some very notable absences. Obviously, Green Goblin has been the main one. Whether they'll do a Hobgoblin or a back to basics uniform this Halloween to give him his tier 4, so that he should be up where he really deserves to be. Let's be honest, he's one of the most iconic villains in Marvel, has been through their history well before the MCU came along. But we've had this problem with any new characters, Polaris being the exception, that characters have come in and they've had no reason to be worked on, because they haven't got their just dues, they haven't got a Transcendence, they haven't got a tier 3. And Baku, Cassie Lang, prime examples of that. So I really hope that with this now, we're going to see a final push. I know we've got the Marvel TV show Secret Invasion coming out, so I hope that's going to lead to some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Nick Fury, etc. getting their Transcendences. But when you see characters like Black Cat, who even when she got her cool uniform never got her tier 3, it'd just be really nice if we got some better communication from the devs. We haven't had a developer's note in the longest time. They haven't mentioned where the game is going. They did say last year, don't worry, there's going to be lots of new content. We're going to have regular new world bosses, regular new giant boss raids. But since then, we haven't had any communication from the devs. And, whilst it's great to get new characters, you try taking a new character into Dormammu GBR and you will be kicked so fast your feet won't hit the floor. Again, World Boss, whilst it might be nice to test a new character, without a tier 3, without a Transcendence, you're only having to be able to play Ultimate, and who wants to do that when you're not getting any decent rewards for it? So yeah, whilst I'm very happy that finally Green Goblin has get a tier 3, I am just a little concerned it may be a little too late. Which brings me on to another bit of a rant, which is why I haven't been making content for a while, and why I haven't been spending money in the game, and that is the stealth nerf to the Stark Stash. Not in all countries, but in some countries, because the price went up for Apple products, they decided to put the price up for Android products too. Now, admittedly, it's not a huge price increase, but the fact is that they did it without telling anyone. It wasn't even in the post. It said Apple Store increase. on the post on the forums, and it's only until you went into it and you read the very last line that they said, oh, in order for parity and to keep things fair, we'll also be increasing the Google prices. So that's why I didn't bother getting the Quiet Council uniform for Professor X, and it's why I haven't been spending or doing really anything except the bare minimum in the game. Luckily, we've got this update, which is really keeping my interest because I'm such a fan of Norman Osborn, the Green Goblin. And I'm imagining that for the anniversary coming up next month, we're going to get the Claws update, which if anyone follows Danny Q on Twitter knows that's going to be Crescent, Luna, Aero, White Fox and Sharon Rogers. Hopefully that's going to be the case, because if not, then this game is in serious trouble. This could be a turnaround, and I really hope it is, because boy, this game really needs it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. How excited are you for Red Goblin? Will you be keeping the Snow Way Home outfit? Let me know, and I'll catch you next time.
We await your return, warrior.